Welcome to the full beginner's tutorial for the Midjourney AI art generator. We're going to be looking at the newest version, which is Midjourney V5. Based out of San Francisco, Midjourney is an independent research company that developed the Midjourney AI or art generator system. Midjourney AI is honestly replacing many graphic design needs. Whether you're someone that's looking to start a print-on-demand store or a more personal use like myself, which is making thumbnails, Midjourney is the all-access, all-coverage tool that really, well, to many disgruntled graphic designers, is taking over the art world right now. While Midjourney is really brand new, it has already amassed almost 14 million active daily users. And in this video, we're going to show a complete beginner how to gain access to this invite-only system. Now, it's not an affiliate system, but the link to actually get access to Midjourney will be down in the description. Feel free to take a moment and open it up, as we're going to walk you through every single step you need to get started and start generating art in about 2 minutes. On the flip side, we're also going to be taking a look at over 600 different unique prompts that you can use inside of Midjourney that even somewhat of the experienced Midjourney user can get value from. This right here is the home page of Midjourney. This is midjourney.com, and while it can look somewhat confusing, all we're going to do is scroll down. Now we can see the About section. It's an independent research lab exploring new mediums of thought and expanding the imaginative powers of the human species. So basically, what this is saying is whatever you can imagine, it will take that, it will extract that in a text form and translate it onto the screen in the form of an image. Now, this can be a photorealistic image, a hyper-realistic, a painterly-like, even all the way down to animated sketches or drawings. What you're gonna do is go over to the top right, or I guess if you just came in, to the bottom right where it says join the beta. Now, this is going to be the same link that is down in the description. It's just going to give you access to the Midjourney AI. So go ahead and do that and create an account. One thing that you will need, while this account is completely free, is a Discord account as well. The Midjourney AI and everything included in it runs fully through Discord. Whether you're in a private or public window, you will need both Midjourney and Discord to access this AI. Now, this right here, what you're seeing, is the actual Midjourney Discord server, the very same one that you will be looking at once you get access. Now, the stipulation here is every single person, you and I, when starting an account, get 25 free generations. You can use these 25 images for absolutely anything you want, from print on demand to thumbnails, website design, and just your basic image needs. Take a look at this image right here that someone generated the other day, and I just thought it was beautiful. You'll notice there's 4 variations, and that's because every prompt you give Midjourney, it will kick out 4 variations of that text prompt. Now, once you get those 4 variations, you can choose between one of those 4 to either upscale it, meaning you bring it to full resolution and size for whatever you need it for, or you can make further variations of that one image. Now, don't go anywhere, because in just a minute we're going to do a live demonstration of just that for you right here. But let's take a look at this server. You're of course going to have to accept their TOS or their terms of service, and then inside of your free account, the full account is about $10 a month. You get a private Midjourney window, but we don't need that right now. We're just going to use one of our 25 freebies. Something else that I've noticed is you can make as many accounts as you want and just get a new 25 free images. I think I'm on my 3rd right now, going through just explaining it to people and kind of messing around. Eventually I will sign up for their premium, because I'm going to be using this to make thumbnails across a multitude of my YouTube automation channels. Midjourney is just perfect for that, because $10 a month versus $10 per thumbnail from a freelancer, it's kind of just a no-brainer. And again, Midjourney doesn't have any affiliate program, so I'm really just talking from my own experience and my own personal review with Midjourney. So here is the Discord server, and you'll notice that there's something on the left called newcomer rooms. These are going to be the rooms that people can use their free generations inside of. So let's go to this, let's go to the middle one. Let's go to newbies 18, and we can take a look at what people are generating right now. So let's see, this person said a girl with classical Chinese beauty with a beautiful figure wearing a beautiful, I don't know what that is, Chong Sam, I'm guessing that is the outfit there, and dancing under the moonlight. Now we can see that it kicked back 4 different variations of this. They look like they're straight out of an old-time painting or something that someone with like a digital arts degree would create. But this was free, it was done in just a few seconds, and all they had to do was insert their text prompt. So we can take a look at what other people are creating as well. So we can see, how do I dismiss this? There we go. A wild jungle with dangerous fantasy animals inside of a lost island and a treasure. And then we can see this is what it generated. So let's go ahead and try this out. Now I want to say that any questions you may have that I do not answer inside of this tutorial, no matter how expansive it is, I'm very, very active in my comment section. So leave a comment with any questions, concerns, or general remarks, and I'll be there to respond to you promptly. So you'll also notice that under these generations we have 2 different lines and a recycle button. So we have U1 through U4. Now going from top left to right, bottom left to bottom right, we have version 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now if we wanted to bring one of these images to full resolution so we could use it for any of our needs, we would click on U. The U stands for upscale, which means we want to upscale this image. Matter of fact, we can see right down here that AskRad upscaled this image from an original lot. If we click up here, we can see that these are the 4 that he actually generated, and he chose to upscale number 1. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at variations. We know what upscaling is, but what exactly is variations? And to do this, we're going to insert our own prompt. So to start any generations, we want to type \imagine, and you will see it gives us this prompt window right here. So this prompt window is actually us communicating with the code, us communicating with Midjourney, telling it what we want it to do. So let's go ahead and let's tell it what we want, and then how we want it done, and then what aspect ratio we want it in. And if that all sounds foreign, don't worry, we're gonna cover that right now. So let's say we want a man standing on a mountaintop above the clouds, looking down at a burning city. Okay, so that's what we want. Notice every time we add something, we use a comma to let it know that something else is now going to take place in this image. Now, we want to make this, let's say, ultra high def. So let's go UHD. That'll be ultra high definition. That's the resolution or the style that we want it in. And then we want to make sure that this is a thumbnail size. You'll notice on the screen right over here, they're mainly squares. Okay, they're square images. They're like 500 by 500 pixel images there, and we don't want a square. We want something in the 16:9 aspect ratio. That's going to be the ratio that you see on all thumbnails. Now to do this, we are going to do let's do dash dash, not equal, dash dash, letting it know that we are inserting an aspect ratio, and for that we're going to go AR. So we're going to go dash dash AR, and then space 16:9, just like that. And in the post edit here, I will zoom in on that so you get a better visual of that there. And then we're going to go ahead and hit enter. TOS not accepted. Apparently on this account I have not accepted TOS, so all I have to do is just click accept, and you can see that it started to generate. It is currently waiting to start. So this, like I said, is flooded with about 14 million users, but there it is, it already started in real time. So this is going to go, you can see 0%. We'll give that a few moments to get up to 100%, and then we will see what it generates for us. Now, like I said, this is all public domain, so you can use just what Midjourney spits out, Or you can take what Midjourney spits out and then take it into something like Canva or Adobe and then edit it even further, adding what you want to it. This thumbnail right here for a flash loan bot that I did is a combination of just that. It is elements that I took of myself on a green screen, plugged it into Canva, and then took a background from Midjourney, and there you go. That's what I created. So let's scroll down and see. We are done right here. So here are the 4 images that we generated with our prompt, and these are I mean, these are badass. I love the top left and bottom left. So I love version 1 and version 3. Remember, we're thinking about this top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. So let's say we want variants of number 1. I really like number 1, so we will click on V1. This will give us variants for number 1. Let's go ahead and click on that and have it load. Make sure that prompt went through, scroll down, and we can see right here, Midjourney bot making variations for image 1. So now it'll specifically take that image in number 1 and make 4 more variants that we can choose from. And again, this is all very, very fast. And of your 25, I believe that the 25 are just the Imagine prompts. So when you're upscaling and making variations, I do not believe that that counts, but I could be wrong on that. I just know that I've done right around 25 Imagine prompts per account, making multiple variations throughout. So here we have our 4 variations. And from this, we can choose the one that we like the most. Personally, I'm between 1 and 2. I really like the smoke coming out, so I'm going to say number 2. So let's go ahead and actually extract the thumbnail full resolution version of photo 2, and we will click U2 or upscale photo 2. And while that's loading, let's talk about something else, this little recycle button, because that's the only thing on here that we haven't covered yet. If you get 4 variations that you somewhat like but could be a bit better, you can just have Midjourney retry. So they're going to make something similar but a little bit different, and you can click this recycle button, which will restart your previous Imagine prompt that you gave it. So let's scroll down and see where we are with the upscale. Apparently I did it twice, so let's cancel one of those here just to make it faster and not clog up the server. And while this is waiting, let's talk about that $10 a month. If you do choose, which I myself am going to be doing, like I said, no affiliate here, just kind of, I guess, some free promo for Midjourney. If you do choose to do that, you will no longer have this public window. You'll no longer have the small but sometimes annoying waiting periods. You'll actually get your own private chat window with Midjourney where you can privately generate all of these images and really kind of escape this waiting period that you're seeing. But you are seeing it all in real time. It does not take very long. So Midjourney here is extremely cool. What we're going to do is, once this is done upscaling, we are going to take a look at right around 600 unique prompts that can give you some ideas or some insight into how to better communicate with this machine learning language, because at the back end of this, it is machine learning. It is trying to decipher what you're telling it in human language and turn that into machine language in which it can interpret and then spit out an image for you. Now, in order to do that, because machines don't speak English, there are certain prompts, certain ways of wording things, and certain kind of strings that you can put together that will help Midjourney better understand what you want to get out of it. So we're going to take a look at that. And I think we're going to do that right now because this upscale is taking a little bit longer than usual. So what you're seeing right here is a wonderful article by Creative Indie. So this is creativeindie.com, and they compiled a great selection, or tutorial rather, on all of these different outcomes. We're going to call them outcomes because plugging these specific things will give you the outcome that you desire. The first thing is the aspect ratio, and for thumbnails, you know that we're using the 16:9 aspect ratio, and inversely for something like TikTok or YouTube Reel format, you'd be using the 9:16. So 9:16 is going to be your portrait, and the 16:9 is going to be your landscape. So just very important to know that right off the bat, and you're going to want to insert these at the very end of your prompt like we did just a moment ago on the Midjourney server. So let's actually get down into artistic styles. If you're wanting abstract art, you're going to insert the keyword like vibrant colors, geometric shapes, abstract patterns, movement and flow, things like that will let Midjourney know that you're wanting abstract style art. When it comes to surreal art, things like dreamlike, surreal landscape, mystical creatures, twisted reality, and surreal still life will tell Midjourney that you want that. And I mean, just look at these here. These are absolutely beautiful images here. I would happily use these for a thumbnail if I had related content. So landscape photography, and this is actually the one that I saw on the image of the duck that I showed earlier. They were using a landscape style photography or a photorealism style of art. So majestic, lush, glittering, golden sunsets, things like that. When it comes to more portrait photography, you want to say like emotive eyes. So I would say a sad woman sitting on the step, comma, emotive eyes, comma, contemplative mood, and you can see that we can string these together to get our intended effect or get our intended outcome from Midjourney. Because again, it doesn't speak English, it just reads, analyzes, and spits out or generates. It can do minimalism with words like simplicity, clean lines, minimal colors, and negative space. And then if we go down even more, we can see that there are some extra settings that you can add to the end of the prompt, like test or test P, and these will spit out in any aspect ratio. So this right here is a compilation of at least what Creative Indie feels is the best Midjourney prompts, the different art styles and photography methods you can do. If you want more of a painterly style, like impressionist art, you can do blurry brush strokes, painted light, impressionistic landscapes, and pastel colors. This will let them know that you want this specific, almost watercolor-like photograph. Because remember, you can tell it what you want to see, but you also have to tell it how you want that interpreted. With realism, you can use words like hyper-realistic, precise, realistic still life, realistic portraits, or landscapes. And when it comes to pop art, which is some of my favorite, I'm actually going to be doing like a line of trash polka art just for my own personal interests and to really see what Midjourney can do. But regardless, using something like bold colors, stylized portraits, pop art still life, or pop art landscapes, really just inserting the word pop art style, or the words rather pop art style in there somewhere, somewhere after your image you want to see but before your aspect ratio is defined, you can insert pop art style. Street photography, one of my favorites. They look very, very realistic. Honestly, one of the areas that I feel the graphic designers are kind of getting crushed in, because people that can spend hundreds of hours making these photorealistic pencil drawings, it really only takes a few moments to generate about the same thing inside of Midjourney. So night photography, also very, very cool, using words like moonlit landscape or nighttime portrait or lit cityscapes, along with long exposure. Something very, very cool if you're someone that's big into photography is you can actually specify in a photorealistic image what you want the shutter speed to show at. So if you're someone that excuse me, if you're someone that is familiar with shutter speeds and exposure times, you can also plug that into Midjourney as well. Now, to build on that, they have a specific lenses and filters section, and I'm actually going to zoom out just a little bit so you get the whole thing there. you can see that we have a full array of different lenses we can tell Midjourney to use, from wide angle, telephoto, macro, polarizing, and neutral density filters. Now, I'm not going to touch on every single one of these. If you're wanting to use any of them, you're welcome to come back to this video or pause this video right here, as I'm sure by now you have Midjourney open on another screen and you can start trying all of these. Things like macro still life, macro portraits, vibrant colors and reduced glare or polished reflections, those keywords can all get you a very specific desired outcome. So we also have different prompts from famous artists. If you want your image or you want the generation to look like it was done by a specific artist, these are the keywords that will get you there. Pablo Picasso, Cubism. So somewhere in your string of text you will insert Cubism style. You also have Fauvism, graffiti art, expressionism, Art Nouveau, modernism. Someone like Frederic Bazille in Impressionism or Post-Impressionism, American Modernism, abstract, the list goes on and on, but this right here will show you, or rather give you, the text prompt needed for the specific style. We also have photography styles, so we have fine art, conceptual, fashion, street, or landscape really. Now, one that I've actually been playing around with is this right here, the documentary photography style. This gives a very photorealistic image when you're generating your art. So these right here will give you all of those. We also have anime styles. That's right. If you want something in a Dragon Ball or Final Fantasy, Astro Boy, or Death Note style, here you go right here. You would just, in your prompt, if we want to say, let's go ahead, remember to start it with imagine. We want a samurai warrior standing on mountain, and let's go Dragon Ball Z style. Let's go realistic, and let's say 4K, and let's give it an aspect ratio of 16:9 to work with, and we will let that generate. Now also, we can probably find, now that we've give it a moment, our upscaled version of this photo right here, which we can then just right click and save image. And there you go. Just like that, we have that image on our computer, and we can either edit it or just use it as is. Now let's see where this is generating here. Go ahead and just jump to present. And so here is our image right here, and you can see that that is starting. So here's your prompts for all the different anime styles. And then we get to trending styles. Now, trending styles is really relative to what you feel is needed. Someone who's doing print on demand probably isn't going to want to do the same thing as someone doing thumbnails. You're both trying to convey a different message, and, well, one of you is actually trying to sell something. So when it comes to trending, take that with a grain of salt. At this point, you should have a fairly general grasp on Midjourney. You should be able to get into the AI through Discord and start using Midjourney to create whatever you want. Hopefully this has given you a pretty good idea of how to talk with Midjourney and actually get the outcome that you want. Hopefully this also opened your eyes to all of the different possibilities that are inside of Midjourney, from different aspect ratios, even down to using a different lens, making photography, well, in some areas, kind of obsolete because, well, you can generate it right there. Same with graphic designers. I've spoke with many disgruntled graphic designers in my own personal circle, including 2 of my own thumbnail designers who were really mad at what Midjourney is doing. But I'd love to know your opinion, and again, if you have any questions, I didn't want to make this an hour-long video, but I will be looking diligently at the comments down below and answering any questions you may have. If you enjoyed this video, found it the least bit entertaining, or maybe even informative, go ahead and consider subscribing and hitting that like button. Also, if you want to know some interesting tricks on making money online outside of AI, check out this video right here. You won't be disappointed.